So you went from business to elementary school.
Yes, I know. It can be kind of strange.
So why did you choose business?
So honestly, always attracted to business because of some of the classes I took in high school. I took a marketing class, took a management class. Then also, my dad's in sales, so that's one reason for um, getting into business. And then also at Stevenson, I was not just like a business major, I was a communications major also.
Oh,
So
cool.
it was a combined field, business and communications. At most schools, they don't have that.
So did you like the communication part of it?
I loved it. I love talking to people. Um, when most people don't like standing in front of the classroom, I do. I love presenting things and being around people. Um, and that's probably the main reason why I was attracted to that major was the communications part of it.
And your dad was kind of like an influence on it?
Yes, he
What
was.
does he do?
So my dad's in sales, and he's has a bunch of connections in Delaware where he's like, oh, I sell to this person, I know this person, and it's just pretty cool when you're going around and he knows a lot of people, all because of his job. So what he does is, I know it sounds weird, but he sells office supplies. But if you think about it, every business, regardless of what it is, needs office supplies. So
That's very true.
he provides that for them, and he's been in sales for over 20 years now.
Wow.
So he kind of really wanted me to get into it as well because he enjoys it.
So kind of following in his footsteps?
Yes.
Well, clearly you did not like sticking with the business part, though. So what about business kind of took you away from it?
So I was talking about how my dad wanted me in sales, and my when I graduated Stevenson for undergrad, I actually applied for a job at his where he works, and I on the interview you go around with a sales rep and you go to different companies and they want to see how you do selling, and I hated it. It just was not for me. I felt like I was feeding people a lie almost, like not telling the truth, like, hey, buy our products, blah, blah, blah. And then I also just wasn't happy traveling along in my car and trying to get people to buy things. I wanted to really interact with people a different way.
Now, is there anything in college that kind of like threw you off of it, or was it you were in the moment and you just decided, no, I don't like this?
There was moments in college that I thought I didn't like it. Like probably around junior year where I was like, I don't know if this business thing's for me, but I really enjoyed the communications part of it.
Mm-hmm.
So I loved my communications classes, but then my business classes just weren't for me anymore. But I didn't want to switch majors at the time because, you're so far into school and you're starting to figure out your career, and I didn't want to switch at the moment. Kind of wish I did.
Well, so I know this isn't all business jobs, but how did you think about sitting at a desk 24/7?
Oh, well, actually, one of my business jobs was I was an admissions counselor actually at Stevenson University, and I sat at a desk a lot of the times, and it was not for me. Did not like sitting there, not talking to people besides through email, and it just like hours and hours of just sitting and staring at the screen, doing work like that, wasn't for me. But I knew if I switched somewhere else into business, I would probably be doing the same thing, regardless of what company I worked for.
Now, as an admissions counselor, did you get to make relationships with people?
So I got to travel to different high schools and talk to students, and kind of sell Stevenson to them. So I would go to different high schools in New Jersey, Delaware, and Pennsylvania, and talk with students about Stevenson University, but the thing I did not like about it was I wasn't really building real relationships with them. So I'd meet these awesome students with really cool backgrounds, and I would be like, "Oh, apply to the school," and then some would apply, but I would never see them again. I would only meet them once or twice, and then they would go about their business when they got to
So you
college.
weren't making those everlasting relationships?
Yes, I felt like I really wasn't making a huge difference in their lives. Like even if they decided to come to Stevenson or not, I just felt like they just weren't real relationships.
Now, making a difference, that's what you want to do? Making a difference?
Yeah, tried doing making a difference when I was an admissions counselor, like helping students with figuring out what college they want to go to, or even if it wasn't Stevenson. But I like doing that in undergrad as well, like doing things to help people out. But I feel like with working now at a special needs school, I feel like I really am making a difference. And working in a school, you're really helping students with their future.
Plus, if you're working one-on-one with a student, you get to see that student every day and see them progress.
Yes, I see improvements each and every day, and it's really nice when people come up to you and say, "Hey, I really see your student's doing a great job, and
Well, that's good.
can't believe how far he or she has come."
That's
So
great.
it's pretty neat.
And I guess that's exactly what you would be doing as a teacher, too.
Yes, because I know just at my practicum, it's pretty cool seeing students come back that had graduated a couple years ago to see their old teachers, and then I even think back of when I was a student, like those teachers that really impacted my life and made a difference in my life.
Well, so we really haven't talked about your elementary school and going back to school for that. So can you tell me a little bit about your whatever the word is?
Like how I chose that major, or why I wanted to switch.
Yep.
Well, I decided.
Your pathway.
Yeah. Okay. That's. Yeah. I wouldn't have gotten that word. Well, the way I went back to grad school for teaching was, I told you I had the business thing I thought didn't work, and then once I left my job as admissions counselor and started working in a school, I realized I really like being in a school environment, and I really like making a difference, and
Making a difference.
and I decided that I really wanted to go into elementary education, mainly because I think about just like the impact my teachers had on me, and I want to do the same.
So what exactly do you feel like you can bring to that career? Like, what characteristics do you have?
Well, number one is I love talking. So as a teacher, you have to be able to communicate your lesson or whatever you're trying to teach the students. So I love standing in front of the classroom, and I'll act goofy if I have to. So I guess goofy is a trait of mine. And acting goofy, especially in elementary school, can really impact students. They'll remember exactly what you're teaching them. And also, I think I just have I know I have a great connection with younger students. And as a teacher, you have to build connections with your students. You can't just throw a textbook in front of them and expect them to learn. You have to build a relationship with them. So I want to know that my students in my class like this sport, or like drawing this, or their favorite color is red or blue. Like knowing all those little details will really help them in the long run, because it shows them that you really care about them.
And then would you alter your lessons for that?
Oh yeah, you have to alter lessons for every student. Every student learns differently. Like I learn differently from you, and you learn differently from the person next to you. And you got to alter your every single lesson to every student as best as you can. Of course, there'll be moments where I do a great job, not so great job. It's all a learning process.
Oh, absolutely. Well, is